So a few days ago a new firmware came out, and today I want to show you how to use its biggest feature, the workshop. Thanks to the workshop you can achieve perfect anti-recoil in under 5 minutes, and this tutorial works for both controllers and mouse players. In the background you can already see some examples. It works with every game and is super easy to use. What I will show you today are the requirements for the workshop and how to use it. I will also show you how to take care of the slowdown of the aim assist. This is the first of 2 workshop videos. What I will show you today will allow you to achieve perfect recoil in most games. There are however games which are more complex, such as Rainbow Six. For those you will have to watch my advanced workshop video. It will be out in a few days. So let's start with the requirements. First, install the new firmware and manager. You can find links to both of them in the video description. Since a lot has changed with the new firmware, I also recommend to read the new manual guide. You can find a link to it in the video description. In your configuration menu, you must make sure that your mouse runs on the same DPI as your config value. If you use different values, then the workshop won't work. You can use any DPI value, just make sure that your XIM and mouse use the same one. Next we have the in-game settings. Those must be identical to the settings shown in the XIM forum. Do not use any other settings. If you use the new native mouse and keyboard output, then verify that your mouse calibration is correct. Next, let's go into the button bindings. For the workshop to properly work, your role assignments at the bottom of the binding list must be correct. You can find them in the advanced settings. ADS and shooting must be bound to the correct triggers. After that, ensure that you do not have any aim SAB active. For accurate workshop results, set it to 0. You can later add it again after your workshop result is done. At last, disable all fire actions in your button bindings, except for the one you will use for the workshop. I only have one fire binding, which is my left mouse button. I will open that binding now, go into the Smart Action Manager at the bottom and open the workshop in the top right. First I must specify the amount of bullets, which is 28 in my case. After that I will add the rounds per minute. For my weapon it's 810. Either look up this value via Google or check if your game displays this value somewhere. In the next step we have the vertical modifier. This feature allows you to spread out the bullets a bit more to better distinguish individual bullet holes. You can also use it to tighten the recoil pattern if the bullets are too far apart from each other. Don't worry about the modifier affecting your outcome. Your XIM will remove it from the final workshop result. Let me shoot one magazine. As you can see, it is really difficult to tell the individual holes apart. Let me set the modifier to 20 and shoot a new magazine. Now it is much easier to see each bullet. In general, I recommend to stand close to the wall with a high modifier. That way it is easier to distinguish the individual bullets. I will click on Done and start to shoot 3 full magazines right next to each other. It is important that you do not move your character during the entire workshop process. Otherwise, the result will not be accurate. Once you are done, you can click the Trace button in the manager. Carefully aim into the first bullet hole and press your fire button. Then proceed to the next bullet hole and do the same. Continue to do this for all bullets. It doesn't matter where you aim in between the bullet holes. Your XIM will automatically calculate the distance between each bullet hole. Also make sure to always stay in the ADS mode while tracing bullets. Once you have reached the last bullet, confirm the result in the manager. Next I will trace the second pattern, so I will press trace again in the manager. I will do that to improve the accuracy of the workshop result. Bullet randomization will slightly change the recoil with each magazine. By tracing several patterns, you will get a more accurate result because the randomization is being recorded as well. You can also trace 5 or more patterns if you want the most accurate results. I will speed up this process now and also trace the third magazine. Once this is done, it is time to dial in the result. When I shoot the weapon now, you can see that the result is not great. This is because a lot of games reduce or increase the weapon recoil the more you compensate it. By changing the X and Y values, I can now adjust my workshop result. X changes the left and right direction and Y changes the up and down intensity. I will change those now until I get a result that I am happy with. For most games, this is all you need to do. You change the X and Y value until it's perfect. But for Rainbow Six, this doesn't work, because it changes the recoil the more you compensate it. In my second video, I will show you what to do in such a case. The following values result in a really good recoil result. Next, let's look at the aim assist slowdown. When playing games with aim assist, your sensitivity will be slowed down when your crosshair is placed on a target. This will also affect your workshop result. Let me shoot another magazine to show the current result. It's pretty much perfect. But when I go to an enemy and the aim assist is active, the result will be off. Carefully watch how my crosshair slightly moves up while I shoot the weapon. It is not much, but enough to be off target on a long distance. To solve that, I can use the X and Y scaling again. I can adjust it until the result is perfect for the aim assist. This will take a bit, but after a few magazines, you should find the right value. In general, you must usually increase the values to counter the slowdown. The downside is that your workshop result will then be off when you aren't on target. So you must choose what you prefer: perfect recoil when being on target or when you aren't on target. I leave this choice up to you. Once you are done, save your workshop result and exit the menu. At last, if you want to save workshop results for several weapons in one configuration, then watch the following video. It will show you how to handle lots of weapons within one configuration by using groups. Each group will have its own workshop result.
So guys, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button or maybe even subscribe to this channel to not miss out on any of the upcoming videos. Also, contrary to popular belief, this channel is not an official XIM channel. I run this channel in my free time to bring you guys the latest XIM news and tricks. So if you want to support what I do, then maybe consider to join the YouTube channel membership. Channel members usually get around 1 to 4 weeks of early access to all new videos. Plus, we also have a nice little Discord to discuss XIM settings and other stuff. But that's about it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will maybe see you in the next one.